thing we can learn from Ari Aster in his screenwriting is how he creates tension with writing perspective. So it's not exactly what's happening, but from what perspective we're seeing it. We've already seen an example of this when that casket went into the ground, and it was very mechanical. So I wouldn't call it cinematic writing. It's more mechanical writing. But using that perspective, we're going to go into the ground with the coffin, and soon everything's going to be dark, is visual in our heads. And like, wow, I can picture that. Here's another example I'd like to share with you on page 16 and 17. And again, think about what we're studying here is not how to create tension with what's happening in the scene. I mean, you have to do that automatically, but how we're using POV and perspective to create even more tension. We pick it up. Annie steps out into the hall and walks past the doorway. A moment later, we hear her footsteps freeze. So this tells us by hearing her footsteps, we stayed back. We're not there. We're still in the room. We, the viewer. She soon returns into view, now looking very unsettled, and she stares past us into the room. So you can clearly visualize this. She left, footsteps stopped, she came back, she's looking at us or past us over our shoulder. And then it goes on to Annie's POV, and it literally says, Annie's POV. And the room is mostly empty, save for the bed, stripped of sheets, a bookshelf, various framed photos featuring members of the family. One photo, a portrait of Annie and her mother standing side by side. There's also a large triangle pointed northwest that has been carved violently into the floorboards. So now when we have Annie's POV, and this is one of those larger paragraphs setting things up, it's saying, look at this room. It's pretty casual. You've got this and that and that. And then, oh yeah, there's also this weird thing carved in the floor. Obviously, you could craft this scene many different ways. The easiest way, the lowest hanging fruit, is just to be with Annie the whole time. Annie's, from her perspective, in the hallway. She's looking into the room. You would probably take away the footsteps because that's just a vehicle to show this perspective. She's just in the hallway, hanging out, and she looks into the room. Tight shot of the floor. I mean, maybe even look at some things to establish how normal the room is. But it gets the job done, but it's not, doesn't get the heart going. Especially when you're writing horror, got to get the heart going. So let's look at this quick scene here on the page. Exterior cemetery day, an overcast day, a sad gathering of mourners. Annie, Peter, and Steve stand lost among them. Okay, pretty standard there. Then it says, we are at a distance. The coffin in profile is being lowered into the ground. We are booming down to follow the sinking casket, keeping it centered. So talking about where it needs to be on the screen. And as the coffin descends into the earth, we do too, or so do we, it says. We slowly creep down, losing sight of the cemetery and the mourners. We continue tracking down along the dirt and the earthworms and the weeds. I love this. Sinking deeper and deeper into the dark, wet soil. Soon we are swallowed up again in black. So he doesn't do it like he's writing some menu or some blueprint. He still makes it sound beautiful and cinematic, keeps you in the story. But it is very to the point of, this is how I see it in my head. I want you to see it that way too. So much so, I'm just going to draw it out for you right here.